Ryudamon's evolution is a consistent journey of a tadpole baby to a mighty dragon, infused with Japanese culture in every form along the way. This evolution line is consistent not only in its designs, but all of these Digimon share the vaccine attribute and belong to the Dragon's Roar and Nature Spirit's fields. They are also all natural carriers of the X antibody. Fufumon is a slime Digimon that has a very light body and has been floating in the air since he was born. He looks like a tadpole, with a tear-shaped yellow body and a red horn on his head, eyes and mouth. When attacked by a large enemy, he thrusts the horn on his head towards the enemy with all his might to intimidate them, but since the horn is extremely soft, even if he stabs the enemy, he will not do any damage. He floats in the air very slowly, making it easy for enemies to target, but when they get close, he spits out small iron spikes from his mouth to attack. Fufumon evolves into Kyokumon, a lesser Digimon with a long body. He looks like an evolved form of Fufumon, with a longer body and grown body parts. He has retained his distinctive yellow color, but his underbelly is now brown. He has 4 limbs that look like seal flaps. Instead of one red horn on Fufumon's head, Kyokumon has 4 yellow horns that end in shades of purple and red. His eyes have black marks that look like scars, giving him a more menacing look. When angered, he stretches his body to nearly 9 times his body length and attacks the enemy, but since he can only stretch his body directly in front, he is often avoided by his opponents. Like Fufumon, he has a light body and floats lightly in the air, but he can move relatively quickly by battling the air with his hands and feet. His special attack is stretching his body and shooting iron spikes from his mouth, called Metal Straw. Kyokumon evolves into Ryudamon, a beast Digimon that is speculated to be an experimental prototype Digimon from before Digimon were discovered, because he has an old-fashioned interface on his forehead. Ryudamon inherits the look from his previous forms, but his yellow skin has turned to fur, and his design is that of a developing child dragon. His head and back are covered with Japanese-style armor that looks like a combination of a samurai's outfit and dragon scales. On his head he has a metal crown-like piece and an X antibody interface. Several strands of red hair are visible flowing beneath his head armor. 2 protective pieces that match his armor are covering his hands. Although he wears highly defensive Japanese-style armor, he moves nimbly and boldly jumps into the enemy's chest to fight. He masters the art of fighting the more he fights, and possesses a spirit, integrity and samurai's temperament that doesn't fear even mighty enemy Digimon. During an experiment, it was discovered that Ryudemon has data hidden in the deepest part of his Digicore. This is the ferocious battle data of dragons and generals from Japanese mythology, holding the potential of growing into a mighty Digimon. His signature move is Helmet Return, in which he receives an enemy attack with his armor and counterattacks. His special attack is Iai Blade, in which he dives into the opponent's chest and fires an iron blade from his mouth. Iai is the name given to a sword motion, where the sword is drawn from the scabbard, makes a cut and returns to the scabbard in a smooth motion, which is a style practice in Iaido. Iaido is a Japanese martial art that emphasizes being aware and capable of quickly drawing the sword and responding to sudden attacks. Ryudamon evolves into Ginryumon, a beast dragon Digimon with his entire body clad in solid Japanese-style armor. In contrast to bipedal Ryudamon, Ginryumon is quadrupedal and takes a reptilian appearance, with metallic armor reminiscent of samurai. He has sturdy legs designed for both mobility and strength. The armor is made of many pieces and details that give him a unique aesthetic. Contrary to his appearance, his body is light, he floats gracefully in the air, and fights while parrying enemy attacks with his extremely hard and smooth armor. He possesses the courage to parry an enemy attack with his own body, as well as the ability to see through an enemy's attack at the last minute, and is good at attacks with outstanding breakthrough power that will not flinch at any enemy Digimon. Because he has an old-fashioned interface on his forehead, it is speculated that he may be an evolved form of the prototype Digimon. His special attack is firing an armor-piercing blade, an iron spear that comes from his mouth and pierces the enemy. His specialty is parrying the enemy's attack with his armor and charging at them, called Rod Formation Break. Ginryumon evolves into Hisyaryumon, a beast dragon Digimon that runs around freely in all directions. Hisyaryumon commands attention with his regal dragon appearance. His body is a striking blend of intense red and deep black armor with golden accents. Adorning his regal form are ornate golden metal pieces that crown his head, forming an intricate helm. In each hand he holds a crystal sphere, one green, the other red. The ferocious battle data of dragons and generals from Japanese mythology, which was sleeping in the deepest part of the Digicore, has been unleashed through the interface on his forehead. His mobility is great, and he can control most of the vast net airspace. He is usually intelligent and calm like a god, but when the crystal-like spheres he holds in his hands are damaged, he turns into a god of anger and attacks with all his heart and soul. Also, the spheres held in both hands are the souls of his fallen friends. The sphere in the right hand are the souls of Ginryu, and the sphere in the left hand are the souls of Kakuryu. It is said that the Digicore information is hidden inside each of them. His special attacks are transforming himself into a gigantic steel sword katana and slashing the enemy in two, called Dragon Forming Blade, and surrounding the enemy from all directions and unleashing an attack called All Directional Wheel. Hisyaryumon evolves into Ouryumon. This is a fictitious Digimon created by the imagination of the Digicore's own creativity, miraculously released through the interface on his forehead with evolution. Possibly because the Digicore originally contained ferocious battle data of dragons and generals from Japanese mythology, the figure created by the Digicore is a dragon warrior, imposingly dressed in Japanese-style armor with swords on both arms. Ouryumon has a majestic appearance of combined might and elegance. Clad in golden armor, he exudes an aura of authority and strength. His wings look like formidable blades slicing through the air. Adorning his head is an intricate spiky headpiece that holds a miniature dragon figurine with subtle green accents. A strand of purple hair is visible beneath his head armor. In each hand he wields a sword. The sword in his left hand is the Armored Dragon Left Greatsword, and the sword in his right hand is the Armored Dragon Right Greatsword. Their names are written on the blades. The wing blades on the back are called Armored Horse Famous Blades. His special attacks are Eternal Dragon King Blades, which he unleashes from the swords on both of his arms, and Ogai or Golden Armor, which rages like a landslide of a great river and rushes forward while slashing everything apart. There is a theory that this attack has its roots in Huanglongmon's special move Okai, but it is not confirmed. That's not all. Alphamon Ouryuken is a form in which Ouryumon undergoes a miraculous evolution and becomes a sword due to the action of the magic circle of Digimoji released by Alphamon. Ouryumon is the ultimate form of the prototype Digimon, an experimental body that pursues even greater combat power, and by becoming a sword, all of his combat power is devoted solely to attacks. One swing of the King Dragon Sword is, so to speak, the use of all the power contained within an ultimate Digimon, and it is not a sword that can be swung by an average Digimon, and there aren't any average Digimon that can take its blow. Alphamon Ouryuken has the vaccine attribute and belongs to the Virus Busters field. Which of these Digimon is your favorite? Tell me in the comments below. If you want to support me, you can do so on Patreon or buy me coffee, the links are in the description below. Thank you for watching, stay tuned for more Digimon videos. P.S. Make sure to follow my community page on YouTube, as I also post updates about upcoming videos there.